Okay, this is 5.2 notes, day 1. If you want to go through, this is mostly in case you were absent in class and you want to get the notes. But this is solving a systems of equations by substitution. So just to review, a system of equations, if you look at example 1 down here, are two equations that go together. And so that would be two lines on the same graph. The goal is to find the one x and y value, your final answer, the x and y value, that will solve both equations. So, identify the isolated variable. Step 1, substitute the expression from step 1 for the isolated variable into the other equation. Solve for that variable. Insert the value from step 3 into an original equation and solve, and then write your final answer like a coordinate point, x comma y. So it'll be two numbers. For these first examples, let me clear that ink real quick. These are a simpler form of the problem because we already know what y is. So our answer, I'm going to put the answer right here, is going to be x comma, and we already know that y is equal to -3. So really, we only need to find what x is equal to in order to find our final answer. But make sure that when you find x, you don't just stop there, but you go back and plug it into the original coordinate point, because we want to write our final answer as a coordinate point. So step 1, find the isolated variable. That's this one. Y is equal to this. And we're going to take this and plug it into the other equation. So instead of y equals -3 and y equals y equals 7x minus 10, if y equals this and y equals that, that also means that they must equal each other. So -3 equals 7x minus 10. Okay? So again, we're substituting, instead of putting y for the first one, we're substituting -3 and putting it into this equation here. And then we have an equation with just one variable, and we can solve that. This is a simple two-step equation. So I'm going to quickly go through that. Add 10 to both sides. Then -3 plus 10 is equal to 7. I was a step ahead of myself. And then this cancels out. So 7x equals 7. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 7. And x is equal to 1. So that my final answer is 1 comma -3. And if you put these two equations into a graphing calculator and find the intersection, you'll find that these two lines intersect at 1, -3. Okay, now the next one, question number 2. If x equals -8 and x equals -2y minus 12, then -8 must equal -2y minus 12. And then you're going to find what that is equal to. Actually, I'm going to go back over here real quick. I always put a box around my answer. So we want to find out what y is equal to. In this case, we know that x is equal to -8. So really, if this was on a quiz, if you just put this down right here, you would already get a 50%. You're already half right without even doing any algebra. So you're going to solve this for y, and then what you get for y goes right here for your answer. And I think you should be able to do the rest of the problems accordingly.